So this brings us to Miss Marvel, which debuted this week on Disney Plus. Both Obi-Wan and Miss Marvel coming out on the same day on Wednesday. Why, just as an aside, why did they do the Friday thing for the first two episodes of Obi-Wan?
Memorial Day weekend. Memorial Day weekend.
Was it?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So anyway, Miss Marvel, Iman Vellani stars as Kamala Khan alongside Matt Lintz as Bruno and some other folks. We don't have a big cast yet. Bruno is her best friend. Zenobia Shroff plays her mother. And I'm trying to find the actor who plays dad. Mohan Kapoor plays dad. So that's pretty much the extent. And then her brother also was featured in the episode, but I'm having a hard time picking out who he was. So we'll have to pick that up later. Kamala is kind of an awkward teen in high school. She's very obsessed with the Avengers and superheroes. She's got a particular crush on Captain Marvel, which so do I.
Yeah.
So there's that.
Yep.
But she is very into like YouTube content and art and drawing and funny kind of, I don't know if it's like TikTok or whatever, but she really wants to attend Avengers Con, which is the first convention celebrating Earth's mightiest heroes since their crushing, sweeping defeat of Thanos and his army. And she wants to attend and participate in the Miss Marvel or the Captain Marvel cosplay contest. And we see kind of a past meets present conflict between her and her parents, who don't think that she needs to be participating in these things. She needs to focus on her education, get her head out of the clouds, very coming of age story type stuff, as well as just sort of the general tradition, as Kamala is of the Muslim faith. And she is the first Muslim hero in the MCU. She sneaks out with Bruno. Their plan fails pretty miserably. But along the way, she picks up a artifact that is able to give her powers, and it's like a bracer or like a wristlet. It's not quite a gauntlet, but it fits around her wrist, and it gives her different types of, I don't know, telekinesis, maybe, I don't know, stretching
powers. Just powers.
Your superpowers. Let's not get too deep into the weeds.
Right.
She kind of blows it up a little bit at the convention, and then tries to sneak back home. Mom catches her coming back through the window. They have an argument. And here we are. There was a mid-credit scene, which we can get to in a little bit. But overall, first episode, what did you think?
Wasn't my favorite, honestly. Like, I wouldn't say I went into this with like the highest of expectations, just because I think this show is kind of meant to bring in new Marvel people.
Maybe.
Because, I think that's kind of it. Like, I don't necessarily think this is meant for you and me in that scheme of things. And I'm not saying because of the age, I think it's just, I really liked the beginning. Like, using The Weeknd and Blinding Lights was like, that song is, whether you like The Weeknd or not, like, that song is just an absolute awesome way. And with like the cartoon cutouts and all that stuff. And I
thought that was very cool as well.
I thought that was very cool. But I thought the show was probably about, this is so precise, this show was 7 minutes too long. And
that is very precise.
I was very tired. I literally watched this today as I came home from work, and I'd been tired anyhow, and I was like struggling. Like, I had to keep like kind of like slapping myself a little bit, and not because the show was boring. I don't necessarily think the show is boring. I don't have a vested interest in it yet. Like, there's nothing for me that makes me interested in this character quite yet. Because there's no, and it sounds weird, but there's, other than the name Marvel,
right,
and her infatuation with Captain Marvel, like, I just don't, I don't know where this show wants to go. I think is kind of I know where it's going, but I don't know where it wants to go quite with this. And I know that sounds kind of funny, but it's just obviously she's going to be a hero. She's going to end up being in like Young Avengers, whatever they end up doing. I'm well aware of that, but like I don't know what this necessarily means because there's not like a mentor for her. There's not, that we actively, know about. And I think the show will probably be fine.
Yeah.
But I also think there's a reason why they kind of throw it in the summer before Thor happens.
Yeah, sure.
I think that's really, what I would say about this.
I think this is too for probably both of us. I know when you and I were talking about it when I was watching it last night, this was definitely part of the piece for me was that it's kind of a headspace thing. And this being, probably geared a little bit more towards young adults than say Moon Knight.
Yeah.
It was very bubbly. It was cute in many ways. It was fun. It was peppy. It was poppy. She's a very likable character.
Oh yeah. Yep.
She's very Kamala, the actress Iman is very likable. I think that it has a lot of charm, but we've just come off of watching, Moon Knight, Tokyo Vice, We Own This City, and Under the Banner of Heaven, which we'll have the review for next week. To shift from that to something that's so lighthearted and poppy, because like even with Obi-Wan, there's like I don't want to say it's like heavy, but there is like a melancholiness to it. You know what I mean?
There's Darth Vader.
Yeah.
That's all you need to say. Like it's Darth Vader. In looming. So
right. And then to kind of shift gears completely to watch something that it's so lighthearted, it's so poppy and upbeat, and there's colors that are popping. I mean, you have on your background, like the color schemes are very, and then you have her dad dressing up as, Big Hulk and Little Hulk and all this. And, it's, I think that the Disney Plus shows are a good place for them to kind of mess around and explore things a little bit.
Right.
And I think that we did see that with WandaVision, and we saw it with Moon Knight, less to a lesser extent with Loki, and then Captain Falcon and the Winter Soldier was totally by the numbers. And I think that especially this kind of mini run that they're on with Moon Knight, Miss Marvel, and She-Hulk, they're messing around with different ways of conveying these characters and stuff to us, which I think is a good thing. And I think at the end of the day, I think that this show will turn out to be fine. I think it has 11 episodes though, which was kind of a lot. And when I saw that the first episode was an hour and it's 11 episodes, I was like, whew, I don't know if I can do this for an hour every week. But I thought it was fine. And I wonder how much of me just not feeling it, like I said, was a result of everything that we've watched lately.
And I think that's also just for me, it's like I literally am just, my job has stopped for a time period. I realized how tired I had been because I actually could relax. And so like I still think this show will probably end up being good. I actually think it will end up being good. And I'll probably end up liking this show. I think it is a headspace thing where, like you said, we came off watching prestige television. And I'm not saying because there's a difference between good television and prestige television. We're watching high end, like, stuff that's going to be probably nominated for Emmys. And then we go to Miss Marvel and it's just a different thing. Yeah. And, I think that's the thing is like Moon Knight is not going to be nominated for an Emmy. I don't think. Right. It's a great show, but it is so different. It is drastically different. It's our backgrounds for Moon Knight were black and white, and our backgrounds for Ms. Marvel are this. Yeah. I mean, like, so there is that. And I think, Marvel, this is the thing I will say about Marvel is they know what they're doing. And while for the most part, they know what they're doing. Now, it's not the same. They know what they were doing before because we had the original Avengers. And that's just such a thing. And I don't think anyone ever really thought that was going to explode the way it did. I just don't think they thought that. There's just no way you could think something like that could happen. You just don't think that's going to happen. And so I still think like this show will be fine. I think we're never going to be in a spot where things are going to be that for us,
Yeah, sure.
as exciting as it was going into Endgame, Infinity War Endgame.
Yeah.
Because how could we? I mean,
Right.
I just don't, for people our age, but this may be the beginning for people that were our age when this started and leading to that 12 years from now. I mean, who's to say? I mean, who's to say that Miss Marvel, years from now isn't the beginning of what the original Iron Man is? And then it's crazy.
I'm confident that that's not going to be the case.
Well,
but I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, I don't mean that grandiose thing, but what I mean is like this maybe is the show where kids watch it because it is summer and kids are home and they can watch it. It is more. It sounds funny, but it is more like family
it's more accessible.
Friendly.
Yeah, it's way more accessible than like Moon Knight or.
And if this gets a kid that wasn't originally into Marvel, now a lot of kids are into Marvel already, anyhow. But if you weren't, but you put this on, or you go to a friend's house who's already into Marvel and they're watching this is a great gateway. Those colors, it's pop, and this is not meant for people like us that are already into Marvel. This is meant. I really believe this show is meant to get people into Marvel who aren't already into it, to hope to bridge that gap between the 37-year-old white bros like us that love Marvel, love what they did for 12 years, and are now just old heads talking about it.
Right. I think this is a show that I might try to show the kids. And I haven't really done anything with the MCU with the kids yet, because it's mostly PG-13 stuff.
Yeah.
And their little brains just aren't ready for it yet. But now that they're a little bit older, and I would say they watch this show, called Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends. And it's
I've watched that show.
Okay. She's on it, I believe. She's like a guest that shows up every now and again.
Yeah.
So I might give it a whirl with them on this.
I like Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends. Like, it's something where I'll watch for 15 minutes.
Yeah, it's fun.
It's fun. It's a fun show.
Mm-hmm. I just hate that they call Miles Spin. Like, there's something about that just bothers me.
Sure.
It's just like, come on, he's Spider-Man. Whatever.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, not to say that the first episode was bad. It was just like, no. I just don't think that we were ready for it. You know what I mean? And
no, I don't think we were either.
To the point where I was like, oh shit, we've got to watch it this week.
Yeah.
So, but we'll see. We'll see how it progresses forward. So.
Yeah. Right. So I'm so looking forward to it. 100%.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.